Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League PlayStation F3 in partnership with Nailcoat Hall and GridFinder.com. We are here for the Italian Grand Prix at Monza, and it's going to be a hell of a race. So you've got currently 16 drivers in lobby. We should have a 17th on the way, I believe. And just a quick note before we start, EVG Ivan 1401, he might look like a new driver. He is actually NRX Flying Coat with a name change in the Haas department. I believe Edge is the man who's missing from the lobby so far. So should be a good race tonight. Also, got to watch out for that first turn on the first lap. It's going to be a little bit interesting. But as I say, we are here at Monza. This Italian circuit's at 3.6 miles long, 5.793 kilometers. It has 11 corners, 7 to the left, 4 to the right, and we're going to be hitting very high top speeds, especially if the driver's setup allows it. The first official F1 Grand Prix was held here in 1950. And the Italian Grand Prix hasn't moved since then, or in fact since 1922 when the circuit was finished. That year it did hold its first race, being won by Pietro Bordini in a Fiat, and since then Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton are tied on wins at 5 apiece, with Ferrari being the dominant constructor and engine manufacturer around here with 20 wins as a team, 21 as a engine supplier. Hardly a surprise for the Italian manufacturer. Obviously the Tifosi here at Monza looking for a Ferrari win, or even an Alfa Romeo win, who knows. Maybe Lewis can pull something out of the bag for Alfa. 3 drivers not attending tonight. That is Craig, Still BL and Howell. Very unfortunate. Like I say, we have 17 in the lobby. But a quick recap. Last week we were at the Netherlands for the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. Nitrogash won from Soldier Stone and David 46 in third. And we had one safety car of just 3 laps, which is surprising round there because it was, well, a considerably tight circuit. And Nitrogash actually overtaking Soldier Stone on the last lap round the Tarzan hairpin for the victory. Russman had a fantastic race. He finished in 5th after being disqualified from qualifying for driving the wrong direction. Well, actually, I say driving the wrong direction. He was just trying to spin the car around after a spin at turn 7. David had a quiet race in 3rd, and there was lots of spins out of that last banked corner. So after the Netherlands, the drivers' points were as follows. Nitrogash has 108 to his Soldier Stone on 71. David on 57 with F1 Richard on 56. Wojtek still 5th in the standings so far with 45. There's Stephen on 44. Russman 37, Sir Spud 34. Still BL 32 and Prebziboy rounding out the top 10 on 20. Now the lap time to beat for qualifying for our drivers is going to be a 1 minute 19.555 set by Valtteri Bottas last year. What did I say last year? This year, shall I say. That was set to the 2021 pole position. And if you're looking to match the 2021 fastest lap, you'll need to beat a 1:24.812 set by Daniel Ricciardo in the McLaren. In terms of a couple of other facts about the circuit, it was obviously built in 1922. It was 6.214 miles long, that's 10 kilometres. Back when it first started, and it used the old banking oval as well. Just enable all of that. And go to EVG Ivan. Ivan, the first man out on the circuit. In terms of the race lap record around this circuit, it's actually held by Rubens Barrichello with a 1 minute 21.046 back in 2004. See, back when you had V10 engines back then. So, it's absolute screamers, as it were. 2 DRS zones. This is the first one coming down towards the Ascari chicane, the other one on the main straight. And it's time to go to qualifying. We're going to go on board with Ivan. Cut all of the tower, most of the tower out. Get rid of the spectator menu. Let's go for a lap of Monza with the Haas driver of Ivan. So out of Parabolica we go. Hard on the throttle. Click up to 8th to 190, 200 miles an hour there. Just going to squeeze 210 out of the car as he hit the brakes of the 100 board for the first chicane. Too much curve there from Ivan and a bit too much on the second part. Down towards Curva Grande, he isn't pushing on this lap anymore, which is a shame. Soldier Stone is, though, in the Red Bull. So, down to the through Curva Grande, flat, Della Rocha chicane, hit the brakes just after the 100 board, down to 3rd. Use as much curve as you can, but not the sausage curves, they will ruin your lap. Down to Lesmo 1, hit the brakes, oh, that's about 30 metres there. Lesmo 2, down to 5th, use the curb on both the in and the out. Flick the DRS for the first zone. Down through the dip before we head into Ascari. You're looking for the edge of the curve to hit the brakes just before, down to 5th, flick it left, flick it right. Again, don't use too much curb as you then flick it back out through the left. Down the back straight towards Parabolica. Into the Parabolica you go, 5th, just going close to the white line on the exit, back to the right hand side for the quickest route to the line, and we go 2nd with 1:21.663. Prebz Boy a 1:21.630. Stephen has left the session, maybe a pit glitch where he can't get out of the pits. So Jolly Jolly at 1:22.196. He sets that time. I think that's Lewis coming to the line. The number 12 Alfa Romeo. He goes into 4th. Michael Lutka puts in the fastest lap of 1:21.443. Nitric Ash coming round for his latest attempt and his first attempt. Goes 6th, 1:22.4. You have to feel there's a bit more time to be had for Nitric Ash. We have Agent Sheldon Cooper putting himself into 7th place. That's a good time from the Mercedes. Well, I say it's a good time. 1:23.1. He's a couple of seconds off, but on the medium compound, so good signs. Prebz Boy is into the pits as Soldier Stone carries on. Oh, he's just having a bit of a cool down lap, I think, there for Prebz, for Soldier Stone. Sorry. EVG Ivan puts it 7th with a 1:22.668. Johnny Jonig is coming back around. He's going back into the pits, is where he's going. There is Lewis, followed by Tina's Optionil. Michael Lutka behind him. Yellow flags down the back straight. I think it's Nitric Ash letting edge through. Lewis goes through, doesn't set particularly good time this time around. Dave46, who's invalidated his current lap time. He is on a good form recently, number 46 AlphaTauri. Agent Sheldon Cooper back into the pits for him. There's the Williams, that is of Stan. So Spud just going through the first chicane. I think Soldier Stone will be going into the pits. Yes, he will. I think Ivan will be going into the pits. And he slows up through Parabolica. So here's Sir Spud straight. Oh, lots of curb through the Della Roggia chicane. Sector 3, yellow flags out is for Ivan, I believe, who's now going into the pit lane. So look, Tinus Optional, he's coming through for his latest attempt. He's coming down to the Parabolica. It's actually his first attempt as well. He's going to come up to the line. Lewis is going to complete his lap as well. He puts it 6th. Tinus goes into 8th with a 1:22.4. We've seen before at Monza, it sometimes takes a couple of laps for the tyres really get into the groove. Edge HJG goes 10th quickest with that latest lap. Sir Spud, what can he do? He goes 13th. F1 Richard on an outlap in the Alpine, and Daryl Whiffen also on an outlap in the Alpine, in the Haas, sorry. Jolly Jollig on an outlap as well. And there is the Aston Martin driver. So Jolly just going through Ascari. We have just 9 minutes 42 remaining. Jolly actually having a really good qualifying session so far, up in 4th. Team's option on his second lap on those soft compound. He now puts it in 4th with 1:21.8. Lewis into the pits. That looks like Prebs boy starting a lap. Yes, it is. Question is that Stephen coming to the line? No, it's actually Edge, who is now in the pits himself. So Spud crossing the line. He stays 13th for now. So F1 Richard goes 12th with that attempt. Daryl Whiffen puts it 4th on the grid with a 1:21.679. And that looked like an AlphaTauri on the map. Possibly David. Yep, David starting a new lap. Sheldon Cooper coming to start his latest attempt. Yellow sector 1, that's for Richard, letting cars go by. There's Stephen on his outlap. He's going for his first flying lap of the session. Question is, what can Jolly Jollig produce? He is currently on a set of medium tyres for his second run. And he abandons this time. Both Aston Martins into the pits then. Prebs boy, his latest lap, he is currently quicker than his previous best. He is gone quicker than everyone. 1:20.945. We've broken into the 20s. And yet we're still a second, about a second and a half away from the 2021 pole sitter of Valtteri Bottas. So just how quick these things are in real life. Daryl Whiffen. Daryl now puts it 3rd at 1:21.560. Times are starting to tumble. That is Soldier Stone into second with a 1:21.041. That's a great little lap from the Red Bull. Meanwhile, what can Sheldon do in the Mercedes? He now goes 6th quickest with a 1:22.143. Meanwhile, O'Stephen through Parabolica he comes. Across the line goes 13th fastest on a set of mediums. Championship leader of Nitrogash. Number 24, he comes around the final corner, really using all the road. Of course, now he's in the quickest car on the circuit, a 1:29.19. Good evening to everyone who has joined. This is the Invictus Racing League PlayStation F3, brought to you in partnership with Nailcoat Hall and GridFinder.com. And Nitrogash, the championship leader, has just put it on pole position as Prebz comes into the pits. Can't imagine Darryl will be going for yet another lap on those softs. No, he's going to go into the pits, same as, I think, Richard should do. No, Richard's going to continue, which is surprising. So into the pits comes Soldier Stone. He'll come on, grab a new set of boots. I think Sheldon Cooper should be. Yes, he will. Though Stephen will probably come in now to crack on some soft boots. In he comes. Michael Lutker's just come out of the pits. Nitrogash, this isn't a quick lap. He'll be coming in for another set of soft tyres, I suspect, ready for his final run. So no one on a hot lap right now, apart from Edge might be on a hot lap actually. But he's 6/10 down on his previous best. It's very tight and runs it a little wide out of Ascari. Still going well though. Number 23 Ferrari, the Tifosi cheering on their men. Currently 12th and 13th though, the Ferrari team. So Edge doesn't really bring it back into the inside there. Maybe just thinks no point because the lap wasn't that good. David 46 still is yet to set a lap time, so let's go right on board with the AlphaTauri man into the first chicane. Curva Grande. And down into the Della Roggia chicane. Lot of curve taken, probably a bit too much. He's had to wait on the throttle a lot longer than you'd like to through that corner. Lesmo 1, that car's understeering horribly through there. Lesmo 2 clips the apex a bit nicer through Lesmo 2. I'd say through Della Roggia and Lesmo 1 it didn't look very nice. Up to Ascari, what we'll look through here, he turns in, yeah, look at the understeer, straight to the outside of the corner through the first part. Cleans it up through the second though. Down the back straight towards Parabolica, gets a bit of slipstream off Lewis. He hits the brakes into Parabolica. Again, you can just see, it just feels like he's waiting to bring in that throttle a little bit longer than he'd like. Up to the line, what's the time going to be? It's only a 1:22.299. Which is still quick, but you'd have to say probably not where David wants to be right now in that AlphaTauri. Michael Lutker goes quickest with a 1:20.905 in the McLaren. Sir Spud 7th now. We have the Ferrari of O'Stephen going slowly. That's the Williams of Prebz of Stan. Here's Stan, who's just slowed up. Looks to get a bit of space ready for his lap. David currently 10th on the grid at the moment. Just set a purple sector 2, so this is a much better lap. Maybe the tyres into Parabolica. Stays out. 1:21.481. That's a bit more like it from David. Only half a second away from Michael Lutka. Edge on his latest. He's going into the pits. Ivan will carry on towards the line. Puts in a 1:21.276, putting him 5th on the grid. There is an Aston Martin of Tina's who's gone a invalidated lap. I think there's Soldier Stone. There's not. That's just coming into the pits. Agent Sheldon Cooper about to start his latest attempt, whilst Daryl Whiffen behind, also going to be starting his latest effort. It's Predator Boy. Goes the line, starts his lap. Stephen jumps his teammates. He's now up into 15th place. He was up into 14th until looks like just who was that actually? Looks like Lewis potentially. No, Lewis just crossed the line. So someone, Stan might have actually got ahead. Yes, there he is. Look, still in pole position, but he's in the pits and he will not get another lap compared to everyone. Let's have a watch of Nitrogash then, as we head into the Della Roggia chicane. People finishing their laps. David finishing 6th on the grid. Not where he'd like to be. Let's just got bored here with Nitrogash. Just see the difference between David's car and the McLaren. There goes Richard, letting pass the championship leader. Yeah, you see how much more hooked up the McLaren is compared to the AlphaTauri round here. Remember, all these cars they're equal performance. They are not realistic performance, so they have the same car basically underneath them. It's just the setup that's different between each driver. You just tell Nitrogash can just get on the power that little bit earlier. Up to the line. He puts it on pole position with a 1:20.806, nearly a 10th quicker than his teammate of Michael Lutka. I don't think many people are going to be beating that one. Prebz is in the pit, so Stephen, he's already crossed the line. Everyone's finished then. And so it's Nitrogash who once again claims pole position in the F3. This is a fantastic effort from the McLaren man. Currently 37 points clear at the top, and he has 3 cars, but he has 2 cars between him and his championship rival of Soldier Stone. But in F1, especially the game, anything can happen, especially at Monza. You got that nasty turn 1 to navigate on lap 1. So this is not going to be easy for Nitrogash along with that slipstream. As long as Michael and Prebz are in the slipstream and Soldier Stone's in their slipstream, this is going to be a very, very close race. Interesting that F1 Richard decided not to go on to the soft compounds all session. So to stay on the medium tyre. Not quite sure. I mean, I think we're waiting on Stephen to cross the line because he came out of the pits before the timer ran out, so it's now waiting for him to cross the line to finish the session. He's going to come into the pits, I think. Yes, he is. There we go. So here is your grid for round 11 at the Italian Grand Prix. Nitrogash and Michael Lutka put out a McLaren all front row. It's a front row lockout. First time possibly this season we've had a front row lockout in the F3. Prebz Boy and Soldier Stone line up for row 2. Row 3 is Ivan and Russman. Row 4, Daryl and David. Row 5, Sheldon Cooper and Lewis. And all of those guys will be starting on the soft compound tyre. Row 6, Tinus and Sir Spud. Row 7, Jolly Jollig and Stan. Row 8, Stephen and Edge. And on his own on row 9, F1 Richard. Everyone from Tinus down will have a free tyre choice and we'll all start on a fresh compound. So everyone in the top 10 will be starting on the tyre they just qualified on with their best lap. So obviously this screen showing that the drivers are just on the grid at the moment, doing their final race strategies, changing the tyres, maybe some of them starting on the mediums. I would not expect anyone to be on the hard compound tyres. The tyre wear not enough round here to really warrant that. But you never know. You just never know. It looks like from that picture that's the Mercedes boys have already taken a front wing to Agent Sheldon Cooper's car. See, there's no wing on that stand compared to the Red Bull team, the McLaren team, and the Aston Martin. Looks like Ferrari have taken the front. No, sorry, the Alpine team have taken the front wing to the grid. It's quite interesting. So a couple of the teams have to change the front wing early on. So, the drivers will now be going for their formation lap. Two McLarens, followed by the Williams, the Red Bull. Some dodgy flag waving marshals there on the side. Nitrogash leading the pack away. This is going to be the vital corner at lap 1. Can we get through turn 1 cleanly? It looks like the Alfa Romeo of Lewis has had a slow getaway on this formation lap. Could be tactical. So your tyres do cool down on the grid. So it could be a tactical decision there from the Alfa Romeo. A comment saying about Nitrogash smashing at the moment. He is absolutely flying in this category this season. But it's not been an easy ride for him, not really. I mean, he's had a really solid results. He's just not made the same mistakes as other drivers have. And he's just capitalised on those who have made mistakes. I think his biggest mistake was potentially at Hungary. When he had to pit for a new front wing, ended up retiring from Hungary in the end. This is a weaving snake of F1 cars down the back straight, heading towards the Parabolica as Nitrogash rounds the final curve. And now the AIs will take control of every car. and take them to their grid slots as the drivers now line up for round number 11 of the IRL PlayStation F3 League in partnership with Nailcohor and gridfinder.com. The start of the third of this season is about to get underway. The final third, 5 rounds to go. Nitrogash in a prime position. Here we go. We have the 5 red lights. We are green at Italy, and it's a good getaway from Nitrogash. A good start from everyone, really. Michael look a little bit under pressure from Prebzy Boy behind. As we head into turn 1 for the first time, Prebzy Boy goes absolutely flying off. Has everyone else got away unscathed? It looks like we've got a clean getaway. Prebzy Boy catching the grass on the entry, goes flying off at turn 1. Soldier Stone has gone up into second place. He is now right on Nitrogash, coming down to the De La Rocha chicane. Michael looks for a move, can't make it happen. Furthest slides behind. I think that was the Alpha Tauri. Lewis has had a moment. I think he's had a spin, as has Ivan. Maybe a bit of contact. Tinus Optioneal getting past Richard. Here comes Ivan. He's got a good run coming out of Lesmo too. He's going to look to the outside on Tinus into Ascari. Gets the move done. That's a great move from the Haas driver. Meanwhile, Stan is on the back of Jolly Jolly coming into Parabolica. Looking to the outside, gets the move made around the outside. So that's 2 moves around the outside of corners so far. Tina's not giving this up against Ivan though. Immediately back on the attack and back in front for the Aston Martin driver. Prebzy Boy in the pits, I'm assuming for a new front wing. Meanwhile, David and Agent Sheldon Cooper trading positions. There's your predicted pit stop strategy. Lap 10 to 12 onto the medium tyre for anyone who was on the softs. Just a lap or 2 before if you want to go on the hards, which I doubt we will see. Apart from... no, Prebzy Boy on the mediums as well. We've got a yellow flag. That is for Ivan. Edge. Sounds like Edge and Ivan have come together. Ivan facing the wrong way. The Haas driver gets going again. Doesn't look like there's much damage. And oh my, Nitrogash out of the race. There he is on the right hand side. The championship leader has crashed at Ascari. This is massive for the championship. Remember, it's 15 points for a win, and Soldier Stone is now in the lead. He can cut this lead from 37 to 22 tonight. DRS enabled, no safety car yet. The car's actually been cleared, so we're back to racing conditions. Good effort by the Monza marshals. So, Soldier Stone leads the way. Tinus Optioneal's got past his teammate of Jolly Jollig. And Nitrogas leaving to go back to the McLaren HQ. It's a shame you can't have replays in this game, because I have the funny feeling that he's gone into Ascari, gone on the curb, and the back end's just spun. Nothing he can do about it, straight into the wall. Another yellow flag, this time for Ivan into turn 1. David right on the back of Darrell at the moment as we speak. Lap 3 of 27 so far. DRS open, what can the AlphaTauri do? Tinus puts in the quickest lap of the race. David looks to the inside, thinks better of it. Lewis now sets a 1:24.167, which I will add is faster than Daniel Ricciardo in the race in this year. Meanwhile, Soldier Stone behind Michael Lutka, probably due to the DRS assistance into the first chicane. But this will be doing his teammate of Nitric Ash a bit of a favour if he can beat the Red Bull. But I get the feeling we're about to get a yo-yo effect throughout this race with the DRS system. Because now you watch Soldier Stone close in up towards Ascari. Looks to the inside, thinks better of it. On board with the McLaren. Down the back straight. Remember, he's got to be behind Soldier Stone in the detection point, which is coming up about now. Here comes the Red Bull before DRS is even activated. There goes the DRS assistance, and now look at the Red Bull pull away. David gets past Darrell in down the main straight. Pretty easy move that from Soldier Stone. This is what's going to happen though throughout the race. Side by side, Stan and Jolly Jollig. Good driving from the pair. Good. Oh, Stan almost loses the rear end. Goes through some of the polystyrene boards on the runoff. Meanwhile, Richard getting past Lewis. So Stephen losing a couple of places as Tina's now in the back of Sir Spud. Oh, there's a little glance on the exit of Lesmo 1. Can't quite do anything about it yet. Should get a good run though into Ascari. Job done before Ascari for Tinus Optional. Into 7th he goes. Back at the front and into Parabolica. Michael setting up the move. Here we go once again. Jolly Jolly getting past those Stephen now, so I can only assume with Stephen maybe having a bit of damage on the front wing. David sets the fastest lap of the race. He's right on the tail of his teammate. Here comes Michael to the inside of turn 1. Backs out of it. David can't get past his teammate either. So Michael backing out of that move into turn 1. Lewis past the Alpine of Richard into the first chicane. There's Stephen. Side by side through Curva Grande. He's going to have the inside for Della Roggia, but not enough alongside the Aston Martin. And Michael Lutker's down up to 7/10 behind Soldier Stone now, so if Soldier Stone breaks that DRS range, he might be able to start pulling away, but you can just see in that DRS he's almost 0.2 of a second gained by Michael. David actually getting past his teammate during this lap as well. Michael, here we go then. Russman back in front of David. You get the feeling that these AlphaTauris are trying to basically play a game of leapfrog with each other, each propelling the other down a straight. This time Michael's going to look, he's going to go alongside. The AlphaTauri's behind, yet Russman staying ahead of David as Michael gets through on Soldier Stone. Jolly Jollig just ahead of O'Stevens still. Yeah, through Curva Grande. I mean, Jolly Jollig looking to get onto the back of Sir Spud here. It's a good opportunity here for Red Bull as well to close in on McLaren in terms of the constructors. Nitric Ash not scoring. Meanwhile, you just see Soldier Stone alongside in front at the Ascari chicane. DRS assistance there, but look at Russman. He's now in this fight, as is David. David only 6/10 behind. He's going to get a triple slipstream with DRS. Russman down the inside of Parabolica. Hangs Michael out wide, so this has helped Soldier Stone a little bit, have a little gap. And here comes David as well. So Michael just about hangs it in front of Russman. David looks to the inside, thinks better of it. Michael looking to the outside. No, it's not going to work. We now have a four-way fight for the lead. Darrell Whiffen into the pits on lap number 8, maybe looking for an undercut. Agent Sheldon Cooper being overtaken by Tina's Option Hill, who finds himself into the top 5. This is a good drive from Tina's. Yellow flag sector 1. That is Lewis just recovering from some form of spin. Jolly right on the back of O'Stephen. O'Stephen back ahead. So Edge gets past Lewis there. Meanwhile, back at the front, and it is Michael Lutka on the back of Soldier Stone. Soldier Stone with a great chance to close the gap here to Nitrogash. He's going to have to fight hard for this though. Gets a good launch out of Parabolica, half a second. That may well be enough, as that is the AlphaTauri of David into the pits. So he's decided enough is enough on these soft compounds, looking for a potential undercut there. And just yeah, Michael couldn't make the move against the Red Bull down the main straight. Down to the Della Roggia chicane. Michael just cannot find a way. Meanwhile, it's close between Darrell, Lewis and Edge. That now just has a little bit of spread to it. Obviously, Darrell on fresh mediums. Everyone else is a little bit more spread. I say that as Stan is on the back of F1 Richard. The Williams driver looking for some more points to try and claim. Has DRS, he can't quite get alongside though. Meanwhile, back at the front, Michael Lutka looking for a move. This time he's a lot closer. Has a good exit. This should be it now. Should be another overtake for the lead. Soldier Stone will make him go to the outside. Oh! And Michael Lutka straight on at the chicane. And he spun it. Oh, that's terrible. That's not good for Michael. Just having a look back on the stream then. I don't think the Red Bull moves. No, Michael tries to move back in as... Oh, Stephen has had a disconnect. He'll be able to get back in though. Yeah, it looks like Michael tries to come towards the Red Bull and thought Soldier Stone would be a lot further over on the track. So that's unfortunate for Michael Lutka. Well, Edge and Lewis having a bit of a scrap. I say that as Lewis has actually spun it again. Takes out one of the flying robots, and he's now into the barrier on the other side. He's not having a good race here in the Alfa Romeo, is Lewis. So what does this now mean? It means that Russman inherits the lead because the Red Bull of Soldier Stone has decided to come into the pits. Yeah, it was a very odd spin for Michael. It's a very unfortunate spin. I mean, he's the first to go down that escape road, and then Preb's going sideways down it earlier. So he's cleared a bit of the boards out of people's way if they do end up going straight on. And that's an interesting thing that David and Daryl. David is now in a net P1. He's made the undercut work. An absolute treat. I mean, Soldierstone has got Daryl straight out of the first chicane. But this is not what Soldierstone needs. He doesn't need an AlphaTauri ahead of him. So David now inherits the lead from Soldierstone in second as a net, because obviously Russman, Sheldon, Sir Spud, Jolly Jolly, O'Stephen, Richard and Stan all have to pit still. Down the back straight they go. Russman into the pits. O'Stephen has rejoined, that's a good thing. Sheldon Cooper into the pits. So Spud is staying out, inheriting the lead. A few more cars. Obviously these could be the medium tyre runners. Russman is behind this group of three, as Soldierstone retakes what is going to be effectively the lead of this race. We've got a bit of a battle between Richard, Stan and O'Stephen. So now just dropping off the back through the Della Roggia chicane. I've got no timings at the moment. That's not ideal. Good evening to anyone who has just joined. You are watching the Invictus Racing League PlayStation F3 in association with and in partnership with Nailcoat Hall and Gridfinder.com. If you have only just joined us, oh, there goes Stan. He's round at Ascari. And he's gonna back it up, wait for everyone to come through as he rejoins the circuit. What I was saying, yeah, if you have just joined, the big news: the championship leader Nitrogash out of this race. He crashed at Ascari, and he has ended this race in a wall. There's that from Richard. Currently second, but not second, if you know what I mean, because the others have made pit stops. The top three yet to pit. But yeah, Nitrogash, 37 points lead he had coming in. If Soldierstone wins, that will become a 22-point lead with 4 rounds to go. Then we have a yellow at Sector 3. That is for Lewis, who's having an absolute mare of a race right now. He's lost his front wing. Probably not the first time either. Yeah, a bit of a mare of races, Lewis, so far, unfortunately. Daryl down the inside of David. He's going to take what will effectively be second on the road. Stan has a 3-second time penalty. And David coming right back at Daryl down the main straight. This is going to bring Russman. Lewis has brought it into the pits and decided enough is enough for today. Soldierstone overtaking O'Stephen. So the Red Bull up into third place. Here on to lap 14 of 27. Like to see where Tinus is in all of this. I think he's going to be in 5th overall by the time everything plays out. This is probably your closest battle so far at the moment between David and Daryl. Through Skari and the Haas looking to make somewhat of a move, though a bit of a wiggle from the AlphaTauri of David, and there's the opportunity. But David's going to play this clever, you know. Yep, he's behind at the detection point. He's going to have DRS down the main straight. This is a possible mistake here from Daryl. He's also run a bit wide through Parabolica. David gets in front, and click goes the DRS now. And the Haas, nothing he can do about this because he does not have the DRS assistance. Sector 2, we have a Ferrari. That looks like Edge. It is Edge. Edge is off. He's on the hard compound tyres right now. He gets going again. We currently have no safety car. Soldier Stone into the Della Roggia, getting past the Alpine of Richard. So Soldier Stone making this count right now because he's building that gap to David. He's got about 2 seconds to the AlphaTauri driver at the moment, who currently has DRS over O'Steven. Will he look for a move into Ascari? The answer is no, not yet. Probably looking at another couple of laps for the medium runners. Yes, who is that in the wall? It is Tinus Optionil. Oh, Tinus. Tinus into the wall, loss of the front wing. He was going so well as well. He was up into a net P5. And Daryl back into the pits. Is this his second pit stop? Yeah, this will be his second stop, I think. So, interesting from the Haas. Now onto the medium tyre. So he's gone for a 2-stop strategy here. Tinus now picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Obviously Daryl did as well. Sir Spud. Oh, hello. Get the hydraulics out of the Alpine. He's just gone absolutely flying. That's going to hurt in the morning for Richard. Looking for a move on Sir Spud and clatters the sausage curb. Sheldon Cooper has had a spin into the Della Roggia. He gets going again. But yeah, Richard, big movement there. Soldier Stone now leading the race effectively by 2.8, 2.9 seconds to David. There's a little bit of a train though behind Sir Spud, doing a fantastic job for his teammate. I sense he'll be coming into the pits this time around. No, Richard does, but Sir Spud stays out. So Sir Spud looking to be a bit of an annoyance. David does get through with the help of DRS though. O'Steven keeping Russman behind. Preb's now up into 6th. Michael. Remember, Michael had that incident at turn 1 where he went straight on at the chicane and even spun, and now he is up into 7th. Side by side, Russman down the inside of O'Steven. Should be a pretty easy move. Yep, job done. Better tyres means you can brake better, turn in better, and mainly overtake people you want to at will. Jolly Jolly losing a position to Daryl. Obviously Daryl now on fresh mediums, so he looks to reclaim some of that time lost by having a second pit stop. It's a very weird one, especially round Monza, unless he had a front wing issue earlier on, which he may well have done actually. Side by side, Michael Lutka, Prebsy boy into Ascari, and Michael Lutka takes 6th place away. And that will become fourth for the McLaren driver. He's had a cracking drive back through here. In comes Sir Spud, who takes a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. F1 Richard, who's on the fresh set of soft tyres, looking at the back of the Aston Martin of Jolly Jollig. Interesting line from Jolly. Question is, will they get the Red Bull? The Red Bull's going to be in the way here. Yeah, Richard backs out of it. He'll look for like a switch or some better traction. Oh, he gets it. Absolutely beautiful from the Alpine of Richard. Seen as option ill, putting in the fastest lap of the race at 1:22.481. That is 2.4, give or take a few hundredths, quicker than Daniel Ricciardo this year in the race. As Ivan back into the pits. I have a feeling Prebz has made 2 stops. Yes, he has. The Prebz boy making a couple of stops. Meanwhile, the AlphaTauri drivers are fighting amongst each other. Boris Russman has the DRS over his teammates. David's still looking, deciding better of it going into the first chicane. Looked a little bit deep from Russman. Though Stevens still yet to stop on lap 19. And I think that'll be Edge. Yep, Edge is recovering from a spin at the Della Roger chicane. Looking... Again, he's not had a great race as Edge, but he has shown a bits of pace here and there. David, 46. Looking at the back of his teammate right now. They are together 2.8 behind Soldierstone. Yellow flag, that's at Lesmo 1, and that's looking like an interesting position. Is that Darrell? It is Darrell, he's in the gravel trap. So he's now going to try and get out of there. Gets going again. Currently no safety car. Oh, and there's a big slide for the Haas driver. He's got to remember, tyre temperatures red hot right now. As Prebz boy now gets past him. David gradually being dropped by his teammate. Now the gap at 9/10 of a second. We'll see Russman looking for some points to go his way. He's only 7 behind O'Stephen. O'Stephen still yet to pit, which could put him a long way down here. See there, he's 6 seconds there. He might put him down to 8th or 9th for O'Stephen. Prebz boy setting the fast lap of the race at 1:22.361. Everyone just now, I see David 1.5 behind his teammate O'Stephen, 3 seconds. So everyone a little bit spread out now as we head through lap number 20 of this, the Invictus Racing League PlayStation F3 in partnership with Nailcoat Hall and Gridfinder.com. The racing has been fantastic so far. Soldier Stone has just made that getaway though. As F1 Richard picks up 3 seconds worth of time penalties. Let's just have a look, see what we got. So we've got 5 seconds penalty for Sir Spud, 3 seconds for Richard, 3 seconds for Stan, 5 seconds for Darrell, 5 seconds for Tinas, 6 seconds for Ivan, and 3 seconds for Edge. That's your current tyres so far. Pretty much everyone in the mediums are softs apart from Stan and Edge, who are both on the hard compound tyre. Biggest mover so far, Stephen up 11 places, but that will change, so that'll become to Richard up 10 places so far in the Alpine, but he does have a 3-second time penalty to be adjusted. So, this is the fight for 8th place at the moment. This is Jolly Jollig and Sir Spud. Jolly Jollig getting the De La Rocha chicane a little bit wrong there. Here comes Sir Spud. He's on fresher tyres. DRS round the outside of the flick left, down the hill, up towards Ascari. And I think Jolly will know that is a lost cause as you head into Ascari. And down the back straight towards Parabag. Oh, hello. That is Stan. Somehow kept it from ripping a wheel off. He's got front wing damage, but that's a big moment. Stephen now pits. Stan letting the drivers through, knowing he's going to be coming into the pits anyway for a change of front wing. That was a big moment for Stan. So into the pits for the Williams driver for a front wing change. Jolly Jollig now has a Ferrari behind him, although Stephen not long pitted onto the soft compound, so this should be a fairly routine overtake. So Spud has spun it at the De La Rocha chicane, so after doing all that hard work getting past Jolly Jollig, he's now down to 10th and behind Prebziboy. Meanwhile, Stephen, better traction out of Lesmo 2. DRS and see you later. You're not catching that Ferrari, and the Ferrari may have enough grip actually to pull away by at least a second before the next detection point out of Ascari. As Jolly goes a little bit too wide. Another yellow flag. I think that's for Edge, maybe slowing down to let cars through. But Soldier Stone still leading the way. 3 seconds the gap to Russman, who has 3.4 to David. Michael up to 4th, which has been a hell of a drive considering the spin he had at turn 1. Tinas looking at the back of the Red Bull of Sir Spud. The Aston Martin, same compound of tyre, which is a couple laps older for Tinas. He stays in that 1 second. He'll have DRS down to Ascari, and if he plays his cards right, he may stay behind Sir Spud and take the DRS up the main straight. We have a Ferrari off at Lesmo 2. That is Edge. There's his teammate. Tinas just under a second. I don't think he clicked. No, he didn't have any DRS at that point, so he's going to have a good run through Ascari. Edge being lapped by him. Down to the detection point. Will the Aston Martin get DRS? So he won't be able to overtake him going into turn 1. He's too far back. But it will help him close up to maybe have another go onto lap 25. As Edge retires, pulls in the pits and calls it a day. So, Tina, we have another yellow flag. Is that for... I think that's for Edge. There you go, his car is now cleared. So, did he actually crash the car on the main straight? It would be a bit awkward for him. And Russman 2.9 behind Soldier Stone, who started lap 25. This time Tinas has some DRS. Prebzy Boy now on the back of Jolly Jollig. So we've got a couple of battles to look out for here in the mid-pack. Stan picks up a 3-second penalty. Not that it matters. He's right at the back anyway. And I think Ivan now has the same penalties as him. 6 seconds for the pair. We have a spin that is off Stan at Lesmo 1. Meanwhile, Prebzy Boy making a routine overtake on the Aston Martin of Jolly. Tina's just too far behind once again. Into the first chicane. That Aston Martin just can't seem to get on the back of the Red Bull at the moment round here. So I do like this backwards facing camera we get on Jolly Jollig has spun at the Della Roggi chicane. He's now down to 12th and puts her spud into 9th, and Tina's back into the points. So Tina's having a bit of a recovery drive. You see they're behind the Aston Martin. Through Ascari. It's good to watch. Looking at those different lines. Meanwhile, Jolly picks up a 3-second time penalty. Richard finds himself on the back of Agent Sheldon Cooper. Now, whilst this should be a routine overtake by Richard, Sheldon does not need to fight this, because Richard has a 3-second time penalty for track infringements. Don't want that one. Don't want that one. I want this one. There you go. 3 seconds time penalty for Richard. So Sheldon doesn't really need to fight this, and potentially bring O'Stephen into this if they fight that hard. But at the same time, Richard can't afford to hang about, because if he lets O'Stephen within that 3-second period of him, he's going to lose an extra spot. So Richard makes his move into Ascari. Sheldon doesn't really fight it. He knows as long as he sticks with the Alpine, keeps in touch with the DRS, as I say that, time goes rapidly up to 9/10. I think Sheldon's just about going to keep hold of DRS range. You see David probably suffering a little bit from... Oh, that's a bit away from Sheldon. Just got that DRS to protect himself, although it doesn't. Has he flicked it open? No, he hasn't. So he must have lost it right at the end of the detection. Oh, he's almost spun the car. It's going to be tight here for Richard, because he's 1.4 ahead of Sheldon. He's 1.7 ahead of O'Stephen. Sir Spud's been overtaken by Tinas. Finally, Tinas up into 9th. But remember, he also has penalties. Or 5 seconds, or everyone else behind him does have penalties, so that is actually full position. Meanwhile, we're going to go back to this man. As he comes through Parabolica, it is Soldier Stone who wins at Monza. Takes a fantastic victory. Russman comes home for 2nd place. David into 3rd. Not quite the race he'd have looked for David, but he'll take another podium. Michael, what a recovery drive from this man. Up into 4th. Driver of the day has got to be for him. F1 Richard in 5th. Sheldon in 6th. Sheldon goes back up into 5th. Richard keeps hold of 6th though. That's a great move at the end from the Alpine driver. O'Stephen in 7th. Prebzy Boy in 8th. Tinas comes home in 9th with Sir Spud 10th. Darrell 11th. Jolly Jollig comes home 12th in his Aston Martin. Ivan 13th. Stan has already finished in 14th. There is Ivan, rounding Parabolica himself, and across the line for 13th place. But what a result for Soldier Stone. Richard actually could enjoy the day from the game for going up by 11 places. I think Michael takes it for the ridiculous recovery. And there is Soldier Stone at the top step of the podium. He is going to be delighted because he has capitalised fully on Nitrogash's retirement. And the gap at the top down to 22 provisionally. Obviously, we don't know if there's going to be any stewards' inquiries, so this is all technically still provisional results until confirmed. So, Soldier Stone does take the win from Russman. David 40 in third. Michael 4th, Agent Sheldon Cooper 5th, F1 Richard in 6th, Stephen 7th, Prebzy Boy 8th, Tinas in 9th, Sir Spud 10th, Daryl 11th, Jolly Jollig 12th, Ivan 13th, Stan in 14th, Edge, Lewis and Nitrogash all retiring from the race. Now, I do know that Soldier Stone needs to be really added to the party, ready for the podium interviews. We have already joined us the AlphaTauri drivers of Russman and David. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you? Back again. And David's making a habit of making sure he can join when he didn't win. As here comes Soldier Stone. Good evening, Soldier Stone. How are you?
Yeah, very good, Duke.
Yeah, not too bad. So, obviously everyone's here, which is good to see. So we'll start off with you, Stone. Congratulations on the win. Obviously not an easy one by any means, but those couple of moves after the pit stops probably making the difference between an easier win and having the AlphaTauri guys all over your tail.
Yeah, 100%. I think the early pit stop onto the fresh mediums and then getting those overtakes done as soon as possible really helped me out there. I think otherwise, I know Russman's quick, so him and David would have definitely been, if they were my DRS, it would have been a different story.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, you built that gap in the end, obviously, and from your perspective, it's a perfect night because Nitro making the mistake through Ascari. As David will probably rejoin us. Yeah, Nitro making the mistake through Ascari. I mean, this is a perfect night for you. It cuts the gap provisionally down to 22 points.
Yeah, 100%. It's like Christmas has come early. You know, I think Nitro had a good start, and I got behind him, and I thought he won't be looking in his rear view because I'm a bit for him, but I must have been entertaining him enough behind him to put him off going for Ascari. But Nitro's a great driver, but yeah, what a result.
Yeah, absolutely. Russman, we'll come to you. Second place. Just another solid performance for the season. And it seems like the results are picking. You've had Zandvoort, you've had a good result. You come here, you've claimed second place. You struggled at the start, but it's now almost like piecing together. Oh, you're very quiet.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, is that better?
Yeah, that's a bit better. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so yeah, a bit inconsistent start of the season, like you say. It started to pick up a bit for me. I still feel my season's been blighted by sort of errors here and there, like the DQ in quali last week didn't help me, but yeah, pleased with second today, not a bad result. I haven't put in any practice this week, so I wasn't really expecting too much from tonight, so buzzing to be on the podium.
Yeah, obviously you had a little battle with David in your teammate at the midway point. I mean, I'm assuming you guys communicate in like a party, do you, or is it literally just straight out, no comms, and just see what the other one does, see if you can figure out what the plan is?
Yeah, there's no communication from us. I mean, we've got mutual respect for each other, so we'd never go sort of hell for the leather trying to get an overtake that isn't there. But yeah, it was a good little battle between the pair of us. In fairness, I was driving a bit sloppily, to be honest, especially that second chicane with the new sausage curves that are there. I bounced over those a couple of times, and I got the impression that I was holding David up a little bit. I felt like he was quicker than me on the softs. I think that's probably what triggered his early stop. Maybe he went for the undercut. But yeah, obviously second half of the race, when I was on the fresher tyres, managed to get the move done and then build up a bit of a lead on him. So
yeah,
so it panned out.
So definitely no team orders at AlphaTauri this season then.
Well, I mean, we're doing all right. We had a 1-2 a couple of weeks ago and a 2-3 today, so we're clawing our way up the constructors. So we're not doing too bad.
David, coming to you, third place again for your championship. You're third. It almost you're now starting to cement that position in this title of third. Obviously, you tried to make that early pit stop, which initially looked like it worked out an absolute treat for you when you came out ahead of Soldier Stone and in effectively net position 1.
Yeah, so I think half my problem was I messed up the quali. So I literally had to do 2 laps on the soft tyre, I knew I was going to have to pit early. But yeah, like Russell said, I think the 3 of them in front of me were holding me up a little bit. I managed to get through, up to 4th pretty quickly. And I think we were losing time from behind, so I opted to pit early. But to be fair, I didn't think they'd go as long as they did. So yeah, managed the undercut. Managed to battle for a good 3 or 4 laps with Russman, but after that the tyres were just dropping off, and there's just no way I could keep up with them. So I just looked at the gap behind us. We had plenty of gaps, so just made sure I hit the apexes and the braking points and just brought it home.
Yeah, I was going to say, at the end of the race, I was assuming you were pretty much saying, I'll settle for third. It's a good set of points. It cements the position. You know, there's no point risking a decent points finish.
They were just too quick. I mean, I think even at the midway, pod before my tyres were going, I think I was 2 or 3 times slower than Russman. So I tried to climb a little bit, but there was just no plan. I think we just both slowed each other down. So, like I said, I've got respect for him. I think we probably should go into a chat together, to be fair. But yeah, no, good race. Enjoyed it.
That's very, very good. Obviously, I guess all 3 of you are probably quite glad that no safety car for a race.
Yeah, that's first time this season.
Yeah, very surprised.
Especially with turn 1. I mean, I saw Prebzy Boy going into turn 1. It was like, oh, okay, this could be carnage.
I think there were a few on alternate strategies sort of going as long as they could, praying for a safety car that obviously didn't come. So.
But we'll come back to Soldier Stone for the final comment. Portimao. I mean, I've driven it on this game. It's a fantastic circuit. What are your thoughts on it, and what do you think the racing is going to be like around there? Because brand new track, and everyone's obviously had a bit of time to learn it, but in reality, everyone's still fairly new to it and still probably learning.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one because it's an enjoyable track. I haven't had that many goes on it, but it's quite enjoyable to race around. So I think it'd be a good race to do.
Very good. And hopefully, from your point of view, hopefully some more points to be taken out of Nitro with just 4 rounds to go.
I'll be rubbing my hands together. I can't wait. I know he can feel the pressure of me coming at him.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. As always, it's been a pleasure. Obviously, we'll be ending the stream now. So, as we say, next week is Portugal at the Algarve circuit, or Portimao. It goes by many different names. It's the roller coaster circuit of F1 in terms of that. So it's going to be an absolute cracker. Now, with the lead down to 22 points for the championship fight, it really is still on with just 4 rounds to go. So join us for the F3 next Wednesday for that. Coming up tomorrow, we have the Realistic Performance League. They're going around Italy for their round number 11, and that will be streamed on the YouTube channel. So if you have enjoyed the racing tonight, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and put your notifications on to get notified when the racing goes live, because all four leagues on PlayStation, fantastic to watch. You never really get a dull race, shall we say. But yeah, I mean, from myself and everyone here, join us next week for Portugal on Wednesday for F3. Also, you get your F1, your F2 Monday, Tuesday, so do tune into those ones as well. But tonight you've been watching the Invictus Racing League F3 on the PlayStation in partnership with Nailcoat Hall and Gridfind.com. We'll see you all next week for more F3 action. Good night.